Others' faces pass like abstract blurs, but one face sticks out from the rest of the gray world. A woman whose life has become more inconvenient and dull than the world around her. A woman with 3 children who are running around and tearing everything apart as if everything they touched belonged to them. She tries to make them behave, but they walk all over her and treat her as if she no longer exists. As if the dead blue eyes and curly locks and curvy figure are no longer part of their dimension. The man at the counter buys 5 packs of Marlboros and struts over to her. You know the walk. Shoulders back, head high, moving each half of his body in unison with each step, the cocky smirk. And the question suddenly hits me. Is this all she'll ever know? Will she ever be able to live those dreams that play in her mind when she sleeps, or spread those God-given wings and soar high into the sky? Or is this the end of the road for her? He puts his buff arm around her and squeezes a little too hard. He was sending her a message that only she was supposed to understand, but I knew what that message meant. It meant that later he was going to put fist of flesh and turn her soft pink skin to black and blue because her kids were misbehaving. She pretends to smile, to shine and radiate in hopes that he'll be so captivated by her beauty, he'll save her 1, maybe 2 hits. He turns his back to her to take care of her rowdy kids, and her eyes lock. The smile is gone from her face, and the false sparkle disappears from her eyes. She knows I know her secret, and doesn't even try to hide the pain she feels inside. In that gaze, I feel the loneliness of her heart, the pain consuming her brain, the past she was trying to forget, and the restlessness for something more. She was empty so she could be filled each night by the bottle of vodka to try and erase the events of that day. Empty because every want, hope, dream, love had been beaten out of her. At least you didn't see what he did to me last week, she seems to say before she's halfway shoved out of the store by the man who chokes down cigarettes as if they were oxygen, breathing them in frantically because if he doesn't, he'll die. So his oxygen is the smoke he sucks out of burning paper and leaves, only this oxygen comes with the price of $4 a pack, $28 a week, $120 a month, just so he can breathe. Hey, might save his wife and kids a couple of beatings. But it won't matter. The nights will still be filled with the chorus of their cries, the symphony of their pleas, the orchestra of his yells, and the sound of smacking and breaking as bone hits bone, flesh hits flesh, fist hits face. They are the victims of his hurt, anger, and pain. Maybe his father did the same. Maybe his father spent night after night beating him and his mother to a pulp to prove a point. Maybe he even handed him a knife and said he didn't want him home until it was red from the blood of his best friend. So now he has been forced to follow in his dad's size 13 footsteps, to beat everyone down who stands against him and to kill anyone who continues to resist him. So now he beats his family because he wishes he could beat himself, to be able to punch himself in the face until he is spitting out blood, teeth and clots of blood. Maybe he wishes he could pull the trigger as the barrel faces his own temple instead of that of the cowering person below him. But that wouldn't be a true man. So now he meets the flesh of the ones he loves but hates because they remind him of how he used to be, how he used to stand there and take it like a tough man and only cry when no one was around to see the pain buried in his soul or see him peep out behind the walls he built to protect himself. At least when he was being beat, it gave him a chance to disappear into soft clouds, smiling faces, and happy families as he tried to ignore the pain he was feeling as his fist shattered and as his bones shattered underneath his father's powerful fists. His father was beating him. The man that was supposed to love and cherish him was only proving time and time again how much he hated his son, and that they are the reason he is who he is. They only laughed, smiled, and enjoyed each other in public because no one was supposed to know what happened behind the closed doors of their home. But that doesn't keep people from wondering, what was the cause of the faint purple mark or the scar that made its way across his cheek? Because to his dad, your family was your punching bag, not your loved ones. They were practice. So now he plays those same games with his family because he wishes that somebody would finally hit him back with the love that he desperately seeks. But his love are the bruises upon your cheeks. Maybe someday he'll learn to show love through affection and be able to touch them without leaving a mark. To be able to go to his son's football games and cheer them on instead of sitting in the smoke-filled bar drinking down fists to drown out the reality of his life. Maybe someday he'll be able to take his wife in his arms and just hold her tight as he feels the beat of her heart against his chest and the softness of her hair against his cheek. Maybe someday he'd even learn to love the unknown child curled up in her womb. Maybe someday.